All right. Apocalypse and Armageddon for some and celebration for others.
Yes.
It's the day after Election Day here on the Working Title Podcast. Good morning to Clint Peak.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you, buddy?
I am okay. How are you doing?
Did you stay up late?
Nope. I fell asleep at 8 o'clock.
Oh, you missed all the fun.
Me and Mrs. D watched a little bit of the Central Michigan Chippewa football game last night in the rain and the wind. And I read a book with the dog, and the dog read to me, and then I fell asleep. And I woke up at 4 o'clock this morning to do wake up, and I saw there was 28 text messages on my phone from
that's probably pretty
various folks.
Yeah.
So that's what I did.
No crying emojis or anything.
Nope.
You know what I did prior to? I watch Fox, CNBC, and NBC, CNN every 4 years.
That's right.
You know, occasionally maybe the midterms, but I don't watch them. So, but I did watch them all last night. And but prior to that, I'm on just sharing with you what I'm into right now. I'm watching The Maverick with James Gardner and Jack Kelly.
Love that
I'm on
show.
season 2.
God bless you.
I binged 3 or 4
He's so
episodes.
Garner's so
good. You know
good.
what? That is such a good show. And the old school people that are on there, it's just a who's who. And last night, and I've seen this series before a couple times, Clint Eastwood.
Oh, love it.
Clint Eastwood's
Where are you watching
guy.
this?
I am watching this on Pluto TV.
Gotcha. Is it the Maverick channel?
It's the Maverick channel. Yeah,
Love it.
But they don't have Rockford on right now, so I'm like, well,
Rockford's
Maverick.
on one of those other things.
Well, I couldn't find it.
One of those
and
other
you know,
ones.
it's produced by the same people.
I bet.
Rockford and
oh wow,
Maverick are produced.
I did not know that.
By the same people.
Good morning to Ron Arenas and Raul. They're in the meat locker this morning. Good morning to both of you guys.
How you guys doing?
Thank you
There
for
they
being
are.
here and doing
Yeah.
what
Those
you're
are guys.
Hard at work.
Yeah.
doing. Ron Arenas.
How you guys doing this morning?
We're doing good. A little bit tired. It was a long day at the election poll yesterday.
Yeah, you were. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate that.
Which one did you work at yesterday?
I worked at St. Odelia's Church right there by Tohono Chul.
So, what time do you get there on election day?
We start at 5 a.m. and we ended about 8:30 at night.
Wow, thank you
so it's
so
a long
much.
day.
So
No, that's a great
my buddy
American.
Lawrence was there in the morning.
He was. I talked to him.
Excellent, and he said it wasn't too busy. How was it during the day?
It was very steady all day, and we just had little rushes. You know, we'd have the steady people come in, and then it seemed like a busload of people would come in, and that's kind of how it was all day.
So what happens at the end of the night with all the ballots that are cast at your precinct? What's the last time you see the ballots?
The last time we see the ballots, so we
Let's say you're on.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
So what we do is we gather them all up. Of course, you have two parties. You know, both parties are in there being represented. So there's a bunch of eyes on what everyone's doing. So everything's above board. But we gather all the ballots. We count them because we have an electronic count on them. So we need to make sure that we have a physical count on them so that everything matches.
Right.
Once we know that everything matches and we document everything, it goes into sealed envelopes, and then the inspector, which runs the polling place, and the judge of the opposite party, they take all the necessary items to the county so that they can be officially counted. But they go in the same car, and everything is sealed, and that way, everything's above board.
All right, so you see them go off in a vehicle.
We do.
You guys, okay, awesome.
Yeah, that's when we close the polls. Basically, the whole group of us that are working there leave together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your service as always.
Yeah, that's
You're
awesome.
welcome. Yep.
You know, love the little behind the scenes because so much of the stuff we do, we just take for granted.
Oh,
Like we're buying our sausage, we don't know what the process is, and this is way more than sausage making. But you know what, Ron? One of these days we'll have to dig. I'll give him some of my time, if you will, and we go through the process a little deeper.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's something that people would be. I think they should be aware of it, whether they want to watch it or not. I think they need to know what goes on behind the scenes.
so Pima County is one of the most inept counties in all of America, and we suck at so many things, but we really put a cherry on top of the crap sundae. So we found out this morning through Dan Shearer at the Green Valley News that he was on Wake Up Tucson this morning that 48% of Pima County voting centers' votes are not counted yet. So if you went in and voted at a voting center, they are not counted right now.
See, and I don't know if I sent you a text, but I know I was sending texts to different people.
Yep.
Florida had 98% of 10 million votes cast counted in 3 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So
somebody needs to be teaching a master class on counting votes.
So a friend of mine who does a lot of work with the state legislature, because someone brought that up on Wake Up this morning, was saying that some of these Florida policies and procedures were put through the Republican legislature when Doug Ducey was governor, but there was infighting, especially from two gals on the very sexist. I said gals on one of the government committees that it didn't get through and never got really voted on in what it should have been. So,
well, shame on them because that's their job.
Self-inflicted wounds.
It's kind of like I heard him at one point last night talking about, well, what we're going to do is we're just going to close down and we're going to go home. We're going to come back. No, this is your job.
Yeah.
As a whether you're an elected official, the recorder and stuff, or you're. Hey, Ron, did you get paid yesterday?
Yeah, we get paid.
Okay, so it's a job.
Yeah, it's a job.
You go, you punch in. Your W-2, you get it when you're over. You got a job. So you know what? The businesses that I've always worked in, here's 24/7. So we just punch out and we get somebody new.
The county recorder blew it, sending early ballots late. If you get the irony in that, right? Some people in the end didn't even get an early ballot, and because when they were trying to fix it, they shut down the
4,000, right?
I don't know what the number is, but it was too high, right? It wasn't just one or two.
One or two would have been too high.
Correct. As we like to say, they keep saying these officials the sacred right to vote, but it's not that sacred to them. So big picture of the Trump victory last night. Now, David says, Ron, do we have a phone number yet? I know we.
Yes.
So do we want to solicit human beings calling us right now? 744-1107, was that it?
No, 477-1106.
There it is.
Yeah, I just put that to memory earlier.
Right, 520-477-1106.
Yep.
All right, give us a call if you want to get in the conversation. 520-477-1106. So I there's this repudiation of this this kind of this misinformation. They always love to say misinformation, but the media and all of these people who said, "You dumb Americans, you cannot vote for Donald Trump. You just can't. You're electing Hitler." Right? That was.
And I heard people last night saying, "You dumb Americans, you voted for Donald Trump."
Right? Oh, we were just listening to Joe and Mika on Morning Joe losing their mind about this.
Yeah. Stay classy, guys.
So what did we is the big picture is the average man and woman and their families decided enough's enough.
Yeah.
Is that what you what you learned?
That's what I.
So what's the big picture, Clint? What do you got for me?
I think you just nailed it. I think a lot of parents are tired of seeing their young daughters compete with dudes and guys going into ladies' restrooms and. Everybody's going to say, hey, look, as a Christian, I love my neighbor. There's no asterisk. There's no qualifying it. But that doesn't mean I agree with everything my neighbor does.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine wrote a while ago, I noticed, you know what? Everybody, myself included, that voted for Donald Trump voted for what we think is going to be the better American. That's not just for me. It's for all of us. And, look, I'm going to say it as I've said all along. I don't think I'm not a huge Donald Trump fan, but I'm more of a fan of what he's going to provide for our country than what the alternatives have provided for our country. And the thing I keep hearing is, well, he's going to ruin our country. Well, out of the last 16 years, he only held office 4. The rest of I'm an independent, hardcore. That's why it's really easy for me to keep the emotions out of a lot of this. That's why I was able to pick him as a winner and probably the popular vote because there was no emotion. The same as I picked the Dodgers to win the World Series. I got a dog in the fight, but I don't.
I understand.
And I can explain that to you with a stock decision I made this week. A friend of mine, a mutual friend, I'm not going to mention stocks or anything because I don't want to influence anybody's decision, but I had held on to a stock more than anything else for sentimental reasons. No, I'm serious, because of what it represented. There was a time I should have sold it high. It went low. I needed to free up some money. This was recommended as one. I liquidated it because I had emotion involved in that.
Sure.
I was actually willing to take, not willing, but subconsciously, I was willing to take a loss to protect. And it was a sizable amount. We're not talking about $15. We're talking about thousands. But when you can think independently and free of the system, if you will, then you're judging things on what you see, hear, feel, and touch, as opposed to what's being fed to you, the indoctrination.
Well, and so that what's being fed to you. So I yesterday, before it was election day, and I have this article that that's it. We're out of time. Welcome to the.
We're going to go for a quick ad break, guys, and we will be back in just a moment.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
See?
Sell something. Hey,
you're on Working Title Podcast. We'll be right back.
Some great people right here.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in Southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick solution, call, text, or visit selltalon.com. Again, that's selltalon.com.
Discover the power of 88 Crime, where your anonymous tips are rewarded with cash. When you call in anonymously with the tip, you are given a code. With the code and a password, you can walk into a bank and redeem your reward anonymously. If your anonymous tip results in a felony arrest, you can claim up to $2,500 cash reward. Let's stop the silence on crime and strive for a safer community. For more information, please visit 88crime.org or call 88crime.
Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net. We can print anything on our soft vanilla logo cookies. We deliver them and other sweet treats locally. We are located at 4249 West Ina Road, Suite 121. Call us 520-300-1131. We bake smiles. Copper Creek Cookies, Copper Creek Cookies, coppercreekcookies.net.
Your favorite radio just got bigger, bolder, and better connected. Live the Dream Media is revolutionizing how you stay tuned in. With our explosive growth in online radio and our brand new mobile app, your entertainment goes wherever you do. Stream your favorite shows, discover new hits, and connect with audiences across the digital landscape, all at your fingertips. Advertisers don't miss out. Join our expanding digital network and reach engaged listeners across platforms. Download the Live the Dream Media app today and experience radio reimagined.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair. My drains were clogged. I was really in despair. So I called some guy. You've never seen such a mess. And every time he leaned over, well, you can probably guess. Now I get it done right by Picture Rocks Cooling. They're neat and clean, peachy clean. Really no fooling. Got a problem? Just call up and help is coming. Picture Rocks Cooling, heating and plumbing.
Hi, I'm Alan Murdoch. For the past 20 years, I've been buying, fixing, and selling properties right here in Southern Arizona. And I want to buy your property. Whether it's a house, apartment, commercial building, or vacant land, regardless of the condition or the situation, I want to talk to you. When you sell to me, I pay cash and it's hassle-free. No repairs, no closing costs, and no commissions. If you have a property you don't want to deal with and you want a quick...
There we go.
Oh, hey.
Who's that good-looking dude?
Working Title Podcast is on the air.
Yeah.
The Live the Dream Media Network. We have an app.
Yeah.
You should make your life better and install the app for all the cool future things coming up on the Live the Dream Media Network in relation to all of our shows and advertisers. But also we have a digital radio station.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to say that there is the Chris DeSimone classic Christmas music station going on right now.
It's been playing since what? Friday, Thursday or Friday of
I
last
think
week?
so. Our friend David just said that he caught his wife listening to it a couple of times, and I'm like,
Yeah, David right over there. Yeah. Yeah, I've caught my wife listening to it. I've listened to it myself. Hey, and you talk about cool stuff. There's something really cool that I don't even think you know.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. It's been scratching around. We got something new coming for 2025 that I don't even know that you know.
And you're not allowed to say it.
Well, I think I'm allowed to say it, and you may know it. I think I'm allowed to say this. We are going to be...
You're changing your pronouns. Sorry.
No, nothing that serious. Nothing that I'm aware of. We're going to have a TV station as well.
What the heck does that mean?
We're going to be like Netflix.
Oh, my gosh.
And we're going to lean into it and just go ahead and make the purchase, for the lack of a better word, so we can be live. How else are we going to get better at it?
Can we call it Clintflix?
Clintflix. Yeah.
Both words stay Clintfix and Peak Fix.
Yeah.
Pete Flicks. Peak Flicks.
Yeah, we're gonna, and it will be like all your streaming channels. David's working on it right now.
I love it.
He's been in conversation with the company that does this, and it will be like Netflix or whatever your favorite streaming platform is.
Sure.
I mentioned Pluto a while ago, or Freevee, or any of those.
All right.
And so
this is why you need to get the Live the Dream Media app. And if you're not, at least, make sure you're liking us on your favorite social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, any of those things. We're everywhere.
And the first thing that I'm going to recommend that we purchase or rent, if you will, or license would be LA Confidential or something like that. We'll have a Godfather weekend.
I want to have a Strange Brew with the McKenzie brothers.
We can do that.
Thank you.
So my point is, we're going to be looking for content. So all you creators out there, people that are making stuff, we got the in-house. I'm going to plug real quick the Arizona Rose Theater in Top this weekend. You can buy tickets on their website, Arizona Rose Theater. Friday and Sunday. There is also a barbecue meal accompanying that.
The Magic Pulled Pork?
Yep, magic pulled pork and some barbecued chicken.
You guys make the best pulled pork.
My wife is pretty awesome. I did help develop the system because we were trying to do it indoors and avoid a lot of the complications of outdoors. But she's mastered it. But they're going to start doing like old timey radio shows as well on our podcast.
I love old timey radio shows.
Come on,
it's huge. Huge.
Hey, and we had, and I hope you guys caught it a little earlier on the local Marana podcast a couple hours ago. Matter of fact, we went live exactly 2 hours ago. Joseph Parsons Jr. of Parsons Steels and Rodeo, as Tammy said this morning. You get to hang out with a cowboy this morning, a legit cowboy.
No, he looks it too.
He is. But
he's in the steel and rodeos. Yeah, I mean that's America.
Yeah. He just was so stoked to be here. And I forget where I was going with mentioning Joe, but the material, we need as much material as we can for these to plug these, and so we're going to be looking for outside talent to come in and help us.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys know this or not, but Live the Dream Media also has a whole production team and the top flight equipment. Matter of fact, one of David's family members asked him what he told him some of the camera equipment that we owned, and he goes, "What are you guys going to do? Make movies?" And David goes, "Clint wants to, so come on over. We'll do a movie
Clint's
together."
already wrote the script for Godfather Part 7, so we'll be fine. I want to run through some things. So right now, none of these election results are final. They're still, especially in Pima County, we just told you, there'll be somewhere between 100 and 150,000 votes that still need to be counted in Pima
last
County.
I checked with Pima County, we were less than 60%. Is that about right?
That's probably right.
Around 60.
Probably. It's still a lot of votes. So the way it works, so the state of Arizona right now, Trump is beating Kamala by about 100,000 votes, 110,000 votes. Ruben Gallego is leading Carrie Lake by Carrie the ampersand about 60,000 votes right now. Doesn't look great for her, but anything's possible.
Well, the distance is closed.
Well, what we're
But
seeing,
isn't that odd? Let's just stop right there.
Yes.
That's odd right there. So we got a polarizing figure but they both are.
right?
Let's agree that they all are. Ruben may be less known than the other three, but there we got some polarizing figures, and he's winning, not like in a rout, but Trump is up 100,000 votes.
Yeah.
And Kerry, who is endorsed by Trump,
Yeah.
is down 60,000 votes.
So one of the big things we're going to, as we break down election 2024, and as we move, and my buddy Sergio called Wake Up this morning with a great point. Quality of candidates counts.
Oh, come on.
Right, quality of candidate counts,
Come
and that's what you're dealing with here. And Kerry, with all of her tragic Queen stuff after the last election, it just kept piling on negatives, right? And then what was her positives other than she was tied to Trump as we got closer to the election?
Yeah.
You know, her big news early this year was secretly recording her friend and employer who was paying her $6 figures to do nothing so she could run for office.
Yeah.
Right? And anyway, so my friend Congressman Schweikert in Phoenix is up by about a point or two.
Okay. How many votes is that, just out of curiosity?
5,000.
5,000. That's close.
Eli Crane is just fine winning.
Yeah.
Looks like he's winning CD2. He's winning by 20,000 votes. Greg, let's see the other one. Andy Biggs, who's been on the show a bunch for us. He's winning 60% to 40%.
Yeah.
And he's in a very safe district in District 5. Siskamani and Engel are literally separated by a few thousand votes. But again, a lot of Pima County's got to come in. Then you have the early votes in, or the people who dropped off votes. You still got Cochise and parts of Pinal in that. So we'll see. So if you remember, I don't know if you remember this last 2 years ago when these two ran against each other, it was so close and they were taking so much time to figure it out that they both were sent to D.C. for congressional training.
Yeah.
And then Kirsten was sent home.
Yeah.
So we pray our friend Juan makes it through.
Yeah, that'd be that's a pretty serious one.
Raul Grijalva, who's pretty useless. Dan Shearer from the Green Valley News called Raul Grijalva yesterday the laziest elected official he'd ever seen in his life. And Dan's a pretty objective dude. So
good news, Raul says he's not running again, and I think with his health issue, that's probably a safe bet.
Abe Hamaday won CD8, which is the former Debbie Lesko, West Phoenix. And Paul Gosar won re-election. He's in a very safe district. He won 67%. It looks like the three Republicans in the CorpCom race, the one who got a little less votes than the other was Leah Marquez Peterson. Locally was the worst of the three winners, but
she did win.
I think they're going to be in.
So what about Corey and Rachel and
Vince Leach?
And Vince Leach.
So right now, the way it's playing, it looks like the Republicans will be okay in the House and in the state legislature. If Vince loses, because he's losing by a little bit right now, then it would be 15-15 in the state Senate.
I heard our good friend Ted Maxwell this morning.
Yes,
mention that.
Let's see, LD. So right now, it's 51% to 49%. It's literally 2,000 votes between John McClain and Vince Leach.
Okay.
But there's still meat on that bone because I don't know how many of these voting centers in Pima County included Oro Valley, Marana.
Yeah. That's actually kind of surprising to me.
Which part?
That McClain has been that strong.
They had so much money.
But he's like an unknown.
That they chose unknowns. They wanted no baggage.
Yeah.
So
a little bit of a surprise.
Now in the in the House race for LD17, remember they only pounded on Vince and Cory McGarr because they were single shotting the Democrat Kevin Volk in there.
Yeah.
So the way that's playing out right now is we have the Kevin Volk, I love that they don't have a picture for him. It's so funny. He has 52,000 votes. He's gonna be elected. It looks like. We'll see how it all plays out. We don't know. It's 5,000 votes. Then Rachel Jones, who was ignored by the D's. They didn't say anything about her. She's second, and then Corey would be the odd man out.
What numbers does Corey have as far as total votes?
45,000.
So he's 7,000. He's 7,000 down. That again is kind of a surprise, and I guess it's choice. They again, like you say, they ignored. They being the Democrats ignored Rachel and went after Corey.
And part of it is you have to, as the party, they didn't do it. There's so many things to take care of, but you got to educate even the independents that they. Forget about it.
Here we go. Stop. Because now we're going to go take off. You're leading me right into that rabbit hole, and I'm not ready. We're going to go there, but I'm not ready for that yet.
So let's
stop making sense, Chris.
Let's do ballot propositions, because we had 13 of these things. 11 of them were put on there by the state legislature, and. It's interesting. So, number one, the worst news of all of it is Prop 139 has enshrined infanticide in the state constitution. Someone who's deemed a health professional, not a doctor, can determine the viability of a child, and if they say it's not viable, you can kill the child. That is now in the state constitution of Arizona. So, that's where you're at. And as a cradle Catholic, I will tell you the Catholic Church with 2.1 million Catholics in the state of Arizona, you guys half-assed it like you would never believe. So
I'm gonna shout out, and you had him on Wake Up Tucson earlier, Chris Collins, and Craig Coulter, but Chris really tackled the 139 hard, and he was at a recent event. And that was primarily his focus of what his message had been.
He was after he was on Wake Up talking about that with me.
He was so impressive, by the way. Yeah. I told him, thank you, Chris, for not choosing politics over the calling of doing the ministry, because you'd have been really good at this. But
absolutely.
I think you made the best choice. Chris Collins at Oral Valley Church of the Nazarene, they really, they didn't tell anybody how to vote on anything. I don't think that's their responsibility at all, but they encouraged people to get the information necessary and where to get the information.
I have no problems with a pastor or a priest telling you.
Now, 139, they were pretty blunt about that.
I mean,
but it's, as far as I'm talking about personalities, they didn't.
It's so counter to the gospel of life.
Absolutely.
Of Jesus. And
I talk to a lot of people that are Christian, that are Catholic, that are people of faith. Let's just put it that way. And they run the spectrum. There's a lot of people that I know that they're Christian. There was a whole Christian movement for Harris. The Catholics that are okay with aborting babies right up till
even with this religious, there's cultural religion, and then there's you're living the faith, right? There's cultural Jews, there's cultural Catholics, there's cultural Protestant Christians, whatever you want to say, that they have that identity, right? But then when it comes to the faith, right, either they're not that interested in it, or as we say in the Catholic world, you're a cafeteria Catholic. Yeah. You're only going to take what you feel like
Chris,
is good for you.
That's the reality of being non-hypocritical. That's why life's tough.
Yeah.
For really, it is. That's what makes life tough, is because it's too easy to go, it's okay. What is that kind of gets in my wheelhouse. I'm going to let that one slide. To be consistent, I've always said, to be consistent is actually difficult. People talk about you got to be consistent with your belief, with your faith, with your work, and all that. That's not easy.
Here's the other thing: there was an undervote on the propositions because there's too many of the damn things.
That should have never. When I was filling out my ballot in the polls, because my wife and son are both smarter than I am.
Right.
They did theirs by mail. I dropped it in the box and then stood in line. But I agree with you 100%. I don't know what the magic number is.
3.
But yeah, I was going to say 3 to 5.
I've said this for years. I want to have.
How many do we have? 12?
13.
Yeah, stop it.
I want to have a proposition in 2 years that limits the number of propositions.
Can I ask you something? both of us kind of aware, a little bit cynical about this stuff. Do you think that's on purpose? The kind of like that old movie. If
No,
we
what
give you
happened was
if we throw a bunch at you, maybe you'll ignore all of it.
The state legislature and Republicans have their own fractures and problems, right? We're so scared that they were going to lose the legislature and have a governor, and they had a governor who wasn't going to sign stuff, that we're going to just go through. We're going to remember 11 of the 13.
Chris.
This is like a record, I think, or a long time. They referred 11 of the 13 were referrals from the state legislature.
That's lazy leadership. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but so what happened was they did muddy the waters. So when I looked at the numbers this morning when I woke up, there was at least I think there's going to be 250,000 voters that just didn't even do it.
Yeah.
That literally said, I don't have time for that crap.
And you know what? This is an election that's already passed. It's in the primaries that we just had. And I was talking to a guy a while ago Marana. And if you guys will remember, the last seat was a 14-vote differential.
Right.
And he goes, Clint, I know at least 50 people that didn't vote.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, I know at least 50 people that didn't vote because it was an inconvenience, the line's too long and all that. You know what? You got to stop that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As an American citizen, how do we make people? I mean, I know it's
Faith family schools.
Yeah. Well, you said it.
Faith family schools.
You got to be more involved, and yet those people will be the first ones to go, "What's going on?"
Now the good thing is that we had
I don't want to make people vote. That's not. I'll take that back. But you know what I'm saying.
The good thing is we had, as a guy who does a show called Wake Up Tucson,
KVOI.
I will tell you that what we saw in the Trump election and what we saw with the Senate and the House, right, in a lot of these ways, but definitely the Trump re-election, right, is that people woke up.
Yeah.
Right? They finally had enough of being pushed around, right? They finally had enough of having their buying power demolished. Just your discretionary income just got demolished. And they were sick of it. And they were sick of the press and these Democrat electeds and their surrogates and the bureaucrats telling you, no, you're great. You're better off than you were.
I love the Dade County, Miami. I love that vote.
Oh, that's the first time you went to a R since HW?
Yeah.
That's pretty wild.
And different pockets of North Carolina and places like that.
Yep. And he hit all
The
and he nailed all the
time-
swing states, right? Georgia, Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
He's like he's going to walk with Michigan now, right?
yeah,
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right? And then, of course, we know the entire West Coast went for Kamala.
Yeah.
Right? But this is where we're at.
Well, we had those. It's like it's always been. You had that little pocket in the Northeast, the whole strip down the West.
Yep.
Well, there's 230 electoral votes.
Yep.
You want to talk about jury rigging the system, and you hate the Electoral College? Are you kidding me right now? And Illinois, my home state of Illinois, is always good for blue.
And the other thing is that he's beaten her by 5 million on the popular.
Yeah.
That's important.
We called it here.
We did.
We called it here. We said Trump. And I'm going to repeat why. I think it's a lack of emotion on our part, even though we're emotional people.
Right.
We pride ourselves in being in tune what people around us are thinking and doing. And when I saw that young Hispanic guy driving through in a truck, large company, won't say the name, and he's listening to Joe Rogan, I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Yep.
And now Joe didn't endorse anyone till
last
Monday,
day.
which that's not bad. I mean, that's okay. There's still a lot of people going to the ballot. Probably half the United States still voted yesterday. But when I heard that and saw that and talked to a lot of younger kids, I'm like, you know what? He's going to win.
Well, and because we're in this medium now of the podcasting world, this is where the world's headed.
Well, what Davidson to see?
Yeah, I don't know I forgot who that guy's name is, but he was talking
That's
about
Sam Morano, dude.
Right.
That CEO over there at Live to Dream Media.
Legacy Media down 30 over the same time. Podcasts and digital up 30.
Yeah.
That's a 60-point swing, kids.
Yeah. And he referenced it by radio with FDR. That's when radio cranked.
Right.
When you look at history. TV, Nixon, Kennedy, 60.
Right.
Obama, Google. 16,
Right.
Twitter with Trump.
Yeah.
Podcast now here in 2024. It's the launch of the next generation. That's
Correct.
why we're so excited around here all the time.
So I was looking at my buddy Joe sent me this is real preliminary stuff. Okay, in relation to some data points. All right. And it's not this is on kind of some exit polling stuff over a few thousand people. But it looked like the age group that pulled this America out of the garbage can in this election is 45 to 64. The Gen Xers are the ones that pulled it out.
The Gen
overwhelmingly.
Xers and the what are we talking? The other one,
Ron and I were just talking about this
the
earlier.
Gen Jonesers.
That's you.
Oh, it is now. I didn't know it, but yeah, myself.
The boomers of 65 and older. You're right on the edge of that.
54 is what the date I heard.
Okay,
With the Gen Jonesers.
So on this breakdown, 65 and older went 50-50 Trump Kamala.
Yeah. Well, remember that's the old hippies. That's the old don't trust anybody over 30 group.
The 18 to 29ers were useless. They went for Kamala 55%.
Actually, that's probably down a little bit, isn't it?
I think it is. So anyway, I'm just saying, to have this kind of numbers that Trump had, he had to.
So it's really your age group and my wife's age group. Would you say 45?
45 to 64?
Yeah.
That's the one. So,
but they're the ones who always decide everything, aren't they? When it really kind of comes down to
but
it.
So back to that faith family schools battle, right? The baby boomers have screwed the place up.
I agree.
That's where you're at.
I'm just thankful that I found an out from that group.
Okay? There's a lot of great baby boomers. This is not a general 100%. But when you look at the people in power in government, education, faith, right? There's a lot of baby boomers that have led this cultural thing down the toilet.
And I was led to believe I was a baby boomer my whole life till recently. And I think you were the one that turned me on to that. And I'm so thankful. If you're wanting more information, Generation Jones is 54 to 65, I think, leading into the Gen X.
Why the word Jones?
I don't know.
All right,
Maybe
we'll find
just
out.
like keeping up with the Joneses, but it was the hippies, and the yuppies. We were really that in between, and when it was spelled out, I'm like, yeah, that there was you mentioned culture and all that stuff.
Yeah.
There was a lot of stuff going on that even though I thought I was a boomer, I wasn't a part of that.
Right.
Woodstock, I'm 11.
So the 45 to 64-year-olds, and this is just whatever happened last night with Trump winning and what's going on. It's only the first step in the better direction. There's a zillion things that have to be done over the next 24 months and the next 48 months and beyond. All right. And so it's our job as the 45 to 64-year-olds to fix this.
Yes.
Start getting it ready for the next group.
I agree 100%.
It's going to be a couple of generations to get out of here, but it's our responsibility. And so here's the cool thing. Look at these people that make up Trump's kind of like new inner circle, right? I got Trump, Vance, Kennedy Jr., Tulsi, Vivek, and Elon, right? 4 of the 6 are former Democrats, right? And they're younger, right? This is the idea, right? Mitch McConnell, the old cocaine Mitch, he's gone, right? He's not coming back, thank God. If the Republicans have majorities in both houses, we don't have to see Chuck Schumer or Nancy Pelosi in any sort of leadership, right? Again, but it's taking Trump, the 80-year-old, to surround himself with these people of different parties who are younger. That's why they chose Vance too. The technocrats like Elon Musk want Vance as the next president after Trump, right? He was chosen for a reason. Right, this is the tech guys got really onto this after Vance. They wanted Vance. They saw Trump as the way to get Vance there, and they start turning things around. And again, what I love about I love people in the media crapping on Elon Musk because Twitter's worse now, right? He ruined Twitter. You mean he opened it up to everybody, even you if you're a leftist or whatever you are?
Yeah.
Right. I love people in the media who hate Elon Musk because he opened up, and they're in the media.
You know why they hate him, though? He's their biggest competition. He's going to destroy all of them.
Correct. But we're
going to help him.
But they hate him because he opened up Twitter to everybody.
But
that's people in the media that do this. They're supposedly First Amendment champions, supposedly, but they're not.
But Chris, like I said earlier, to be fair, to be honest, to be consistent is tough. Hey, First Amendment stuff, that's not, we talk about it like it's there. We assume it to happen, but that's not easy to do it. Because a lot of times you have to listen to stuff you don't want to hear.
Correct.
But you have to go, I was just thinking the other day, and I've been telling everybody this. No matter how yesterday played out, the sun's going to come up right over there in the east. And God's still going to be in charge. And I've done the math. I'm 66, almost 67. Guess what?
Right.
Exactly half of my life has been spent with the Democrats in charge, and half of my life has been spent with the Republicans in charge.
Yeah.
And the sun keeps coming up over there, and God's still in charge.
Yeah.
Now, we can't set on. That's why when people don't vote or don't get involved, look, if you don't vote my way, that's fine. I don't hate you for that. If we don't agree, I don't hate you for that. I might go, what's the matter with you? But I don't hate you for your choices. I don't hate you when I disagree with you. But Dan Streeter posted something a while ago. We got to start building bridges. I talk about it all the time. We got to be bridge builders. You ever heard the poem story, The Bridge Builder?
Yeah, sure.
That's what we need to be doing. And at the end of that, I'm going to give the poem away, but at the end of the poem, the bridge builder is building a bridge knowing he's never going to use it.
Right.
Well, who are you doing that for? I'm doing that for the guy behind me that's coming. And he's going to need to cross this.
45 to 64-year-olds. This is our job. Got to do it right now.
It's all of our jobs, but we got to count on the ones that
not
pull
just.
through.
I'm excited about the Trump thing, but yes, school boards. We keep talking about it all the way down.
Did you see what's going on in Moreno? We won't get into it. Did you see what the numbers?
I saw. What did I see here?
Yeah.
I saw. I don't know how the votes are tumbling in there. If all that's any of that's even final.
A lot of those folks looks to me like they made some bad choices late in the game.
That's what it looks like too. That Hunter Holt idiot's coming back, it looks like.
Oh, he's back.
Yeah.
And some of them that hooked their wagon to him maybe aren't coming back.
Interesting. So in the end, I want to just finish off with Trump here a little bit. Look what they threw at that guy. Right? Whether you like him or not.
Can we say this is the greatest political comeback of all time?
Of course.
Without
Easy.
a doubt.
But they threw everything at him.
Oh, everything.
They tried to kill him.
Yeah.
Right?
Several times.
They shot him. He drew blood.
Yeah.
Right?
But for a flinch of his head,
Yep.
we're not even having this conversation today. That's an act of God.
Bogus court cases, media stuff.
Okay, question.
Yes.
Here's what I was being heard floated last night, especially amongst more the liberal media. It seemed to me like Biden pardon Hunter and Donald Trump. Are you good with that?
Well, he's gonna pardon Hunter anyway.
Yeah. Are you good with that though?
I don't really care.
Yeah. You know what? I am. Because what father wouldn't probably pull a string if they could for their own son, right?
So, so the Hunter laptop in the end, right, was something that had all these deals on it and was totally ignored by the press, right? All these things.
How much does that cost us in Ukraine over the last 4 years?
So legacy media, you are the big loser. You're a bigger loser than Kamala. Legacy media, you blew it.
Yeah.
Newspapers, TV stations, you all blew it.
Yeah.
Right? And you oversold the case on Trump so much.
Yeah.
You oversold it so much that no one believed you anymore. Yeah. And they're not going to believe. You blew it during COVID, right? And now you really blew it on Trump, right? So as guys and girls that are in the podcast new media here, hold on. We thank you.
Yeah.
We thank you, jackasses.
You made it a lot easier than I thought it would be.
So, like, every time there's a weird thing with school stuff, right? My buddy Joe, who's in the charter school business, goes, "Thank you very much to USD."
Yep.
Thank you. You just created more clients for me in the academic freedom.
David and I had a little summit yesterday. We talked about it in detail, and we're like, and this is before we knew what the outcome. Although you could tell the media is, as we know it, is done. we didn't know it was going to be this easy. We thought there'd be a little more pushback. We thought and we've had a little bit, and you know what it is? Hey, what are you guys doing over there? Can you help us? Can we work a partnership?
Yeah, the
What's that partnership look like to you, Chris? Well, you give us your clients. Yeah, okay.
Legacy media, in the end, just
crap the bed. Like you cannot believe.
You know what's funny about I see younger people in legacy media, right? They can be anywhere between. They got rid of most of the old guys and girls in legacy media, but they're still. So I have people who are 25 to 35, maybe 40, who are reporters or kind of a Metro columnist people who still have the dinosaur way of thinking, and they never wanted to change. Right? We're not going to have balanced op-ed pages. We're not going to have so when we say, how do you have balanced reporting? We're like, and I've said this for years. The sin of omission is great.
Yeah.
They only tell you one side of the story. They never give you a complete response from the other side. If they do, they just pick out one little generic sentence that gives that person a weak comeback. And they go, I covered it. I did both sides.
Did you see who dropped their major news yesterday, right during the election cycle, thinking people would miss it? And probably most people did. I may be breaking news for some people.
Breaking news.
5% of iHeartRadio got laid off yesterday.
I did hear that.
It doesn't matter a whole lot. They are, I don't have the number directly in front of me, and David and I went, they're billions in debt.
Yeah.
And I said, it's real easy when you're spending somebody else's money and flying all over the place in a jet. And stockholders aren't paying any attention because they're the corporate houses that are holding these people up in the first place.
I don't understand that. I see it. I mean, at our station, I see it. But when you have DJs for music, right, and you're paying DJs to play music. If the DJs are not locally connecting with the community, which I see we do at the drive and things like that they're doing it.
You can't win that.
But if you're at iHeart, why do I need a DJ?
You don't. Just play a streaming service.
I have 18 million songs right here. You know what's a good streaming service you can get Christmas music at?
Yeah.
Live the Dream Media.
Talk to me. 22.6 million songs available on there for free.
So the station, I don't know what the name. Do we have a cool name for? Do we have the name? Anyway, the Christmas oldies station on
the DeSimone oldies,
whatever we call
Dream
it.
Media.
There's over 2 days out. There's 55 hours of songs on there. You will rarely hear too many repeats.
And it's a lot of stuff that you're not going to hear regular because it's the older school stuff.
Absolutely. I know you guys want your Mariah Carey.
It's coming. It's okay. We're going to bring some of the newer stuff.
I don't mind that song, actually.
No, actually, I like a lot of the newer stuff. And my wife is going to jump in and start programming some stuff. I might throw a little bit stuff on there. But you're going to hear some of the newer stuff. But we wanted to start out with stuff that you just are probably not going to hear everywhere. And we knew Mr. DeSimone was, that was right in his wheelhouse.
I'm a Christmas music maniac, in addition to my progressive rock stuff.
Yeah, so. But we were, I think, November, whatever, I think the 1st.
Wow, that was.
Whatever Friday was. Yeah, I think that was first. And the question is then, you ask, I'll answer, when is it appropriate to put Christmas decorations up? Indoors, anytime you want. I don't care if you got them. We don't have them up yet, but we will by this weekend. Matter of fact, we got a couple of guys coming out to help hang the lights and stuff. Outdoors, now's a good time. Maybe wait till Halloween or to Thanksgiving to actually turn them on.
It really hit me during the whole COVID thing. That we need a little Christmas right now. I've always kind of been a believer in that, and why not?
Yeah,
why not?
Matter of fact, Tammy has a couple of Christmas songs on her playlist that play kind of throughout the year as we're getting ready to come to work and stuff like that.
I listen to Christmas music on off times all the time.
I love them. I love Christmas, by the way.
So for all you people that say, give time for Thanksgiving, right? We're cool with that.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Thanksgiving and the message of Christmas, right there.
Absolutely.
Right there.
Matter of fact, I'm going Halloween right through Thanksgiving. And you know what? I think part of it for me is you and I know we do a lot of this together. I'm so thankful and grateful for my life and the things I have in it, but more importantly, the people I have in it. I rattled off to my wife the other day. I said, the guy that used to have one best friend, you, and a lot of acquaintances, I now have all kinds of people.
That's true.
That I would consider my best, and they all know they're my best friend, even though I might say I've got 10 best friends, let's say, and you're one of them. But everybody
honored.
knows it's kind of like with my siblings. We all knew we were the favorite.
Right.
Because we're different personalities. So you're my favorite, Chris DeSimone. I love you. Rick Peralta in town. He's
You
my
are
favorite.
my second favorite Clint Peak. I haven't told you about the other Clint Peak.
Yeah, well, he's pretty awesome, I'm sure. But you know what I'm saying? How blessed are we to have the people that we have in our life? To be thankful? Are you kidding me?
Amen.
You had Chris Collins on this morning. I'm going to, as soon as we get done here, I'm running over to see Chris Collins at OVCN.
Chris Collins.
And Craig Coulter. And I'm not that. But I just love these people that I get to do life with, and I'm so thankful for that. And so I live with Thanksgiving in my heart, like all the time.
Absolutely. And again, there's nothing incongruent about the message of Thanksgiving and the birth of Jesus Christ.
And to me, they're all wrapped in
I'm there.
together.
All right, before we go, two things. If you're a veteran, the Oro Valley Church of the Nazarene is having their Veterans Day breakfast. They're already packed with non-veterans. They'd like any veteran that'd like to come and break bread and be honored. Just go to ovcn.church to find out more about that.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock on Saturday. And then Sunday's the huge Rockin' for Heroes concert. 1 o'clock start. Gates open at 12:30.
Yep.
Mark Miller Band's going to open up. They're a great local band. And then the Lexington Lab Band's after that. And I just interviewed the guy who's the head of that on Wake Up this morning. He was a blast. So looking forward to that. And then I will be with my posse of buddies, and we are doing the security at the beer garden.
Oh, good.
So if you want to get a beer and you don't have your wristband, we might
frisk you over there.
Yeah, or you're going to get a bat to the shins. One of those things. So anyway, on that note, Clint Peak, God bless you.
God bless
I'm thankful for you.
DeSimone. Yes, sir.
Ron Arenas and Raul, we're thankful for you. Thank you for all your work back there. We appreciate it. And thank you for your work in the voting world, Ron. We appreciate that too.
Thank you for David DeSimone, who's floating around, David Samarano, who's floating around here somewhere. Awesome.
I have a cousin named David DeSimone.
Do you?
I do. He's in Jersey.
He's in Jersey. Hey, and you know what? Sun came up this morning. We got a lot of work to do. We got to build some bridges. And I'm going to challenge all of you right now. Let's just be nice to each other.
You and your niceness.
Come on, stop. What's underrated? Kindness is underrated. It counts. It's important to you. It's important to me. Just because somebody doesn't look the same way that you do or act the same way you do, it's number 2 commandment on all of them is love your neighbors.
I've noticed when you
yourself.
do this at the end of the show, this is like when Jerry Springer turns the camera too.
Yeah. Here we go.
What did we learn here today? We learned that we should look at each other as souls and not just bodies. That's the great Clint
you know
Peak.
what? I love our listeners. You know what? Let me tell you something real quick before we go. We have been receiving all kinds of mail, texts, emails, physical mail, just in the last couple of days.
Right.
That is, you want to talk about being thankful and humbling. And maybe next week, maybe we can get to reading a few of these.
That'd be great.
It's unbelievable. That we know that based on what people are telling us, the impact that we're having.
No, it's nice when you get those.
It is so cool, man.
Well,
that is way cool.
We're on the right path here over at Live the Dream Media. Download the app. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Do all that nice crap that this guy talked about. We love you guys. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next Wednesday on the Working Title Podcast. Please download the app Live the Dream on Android and Apple. I'm going to do my Bob Ross. God bless.
God bless.